HarperCollins presents No Mercy by Max Connor. Read by Catrin Walker-Booth and David Rintoul.
This book is dedicated with deep respect to those who have worn or continue to wear the green beret and who embody the commando values they live by: courage, determination, unselfishness, and cheerfulness in the face of adversity. Life is mostly froth and bubble. Two things stand like stone: kindness in another's trouble, courage in your own. Extract from Ye Weary Wayfarer, Adam Lindsay Gordon, 1866. Chapter 1. Sunday, the 14th of November, 2021. Frankie Chapman looked at himself in the mirror. His blazer was clean and fresh from the dry cleaners, his shirt blinding white, his trousers sharply creased, and his shoes like mirrors. He adjusted the knot on his blue, yellow, green, and red striped tie, the colours of the Royal Marines, then picked up his green beret and pulled it onto his head, which was covered in closely shorn silver hair, and adjusted it to the correct angle, the globe and laurel badge above his left eye. His gaze dropped to his jacket. 2 rows of polished medals, each one topped with a different coloured ribbon. They glittered in the morning sun that blazed through the window of his modest, semi-detached house in Sandridge, a small village just outside St Albans. He and his wife Maisie had settled here just after he'd been medically retired from the Corps in 2008, and it had been a good family home for them. The memories flared in his mind of all the places he'd served in to earn those medals, and then even more strongly of the comrades and friends he had lost in wars fought: the Falklands, Iraq, Afghanistan, Sierra Leone, Kosovo, Yugoslavia. The memories were almost technicolor in intensity, but it all suddenly felt terribly pointless, and the medals looked like what they were: cheap bits of non-precious metal attached to colourful lengths of ribbon. Not special, not unique, and not telling the true story of those who didn't come home. Pinned on him by others who wrote the citations to make themselves look good. He sighed deeply, his limbs tingling, as they always did when he was anxious. Frankie was a man who feared nothing, and had faced death up close many times, but the thought of being the subject of others' intrigue was uncomfortable. He preferred life in the shadows nowadays. He looked at his watch, a battered Omega he'd had for years, and realised that it was time to go. It was just a short drive to the memorial at the top of St Albans, but it'd be busy with people paying their respects. He wasn't marching with all the other old soldiers from the local legion. That wasn't his bag at all. He'd never been one for drill during his 26 years in the Corps, even when he was the RSM, so he wasn't about to start now. He'd stand quietly on his own as the veterans marched past, and then stare straight ahead as the last post was played. Afterwards he'd go to the local pub and toast his oppos with a pint, then come home, where he'd return the medals to the shoebox under his bed until next year. Maisie had wanted him to have them properly mounted in a frame, but that wasn't Frankie's way. Every time he looked at them, he could see the faces of those who hadn't come home, and it would take him back to those places he'd rather forget. The Distinguished Conduct Medal from the Falklands almost 40 years ago, the numerous campaign medals from all the other theatres he'd fought in, the Conspicuous Gallantry Cross, the mention in dispatches, long service and good conduct, United Nations. To him they were stained and tarnished with the blood of those who hadn't returned. They were the heroes, and he had just got lucky. "Well, they should be in his safe, then. Worth a few bob, I reckon," Maisie would say. He'd never told her how much the medals were really worth, how much the expert had estimated in any case. That would have shocked her to her core, being the daughter of a labourer. He'd been tempted to sell them, to put some money away for their daughter, Josie, but Maisie had gone mad at the mere suggestion. "You earned them, Frankie. All those tours, all..."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?